Hello, dear all. I hope you all are doing well. I am CS Anupama Pandey here with the revision of chapter number 5 of your Capital Market and Securities Law subject for the December 2025 examinations. I hope you all have gone through the revision of chapter 1 to 4 of your subject already been uploaded on this channel. So as you are aware, a series of revision lectures I will be coming up with which contains summarized notes for your preparations and also containing each and every topic from your module in a short and just format. So the same will help you during your examinations. You may pin me on the number visible to get the notes. You all may also come up with your queries and other suggestions and assistance you want from me by contacting me on the number. So moving ahead, let's begin with the revision. So our chapter's name is Laws Governing Depositories and Depository Participants. What is their introduction? The depository system facilitates the holding and transfer of securities in electronic form instead of physical certificates. It enhances speed, efficiency, transparency, and also reduces the risk of theft, of forgery, mutilation, or delay in transfer of your securities. Legal framework, what all are the other regulations and acts which are accompanied by the depository participants regulations are Depositories Act 1996, SEBI Act 1992, SEBI Depository and Participants Regulation 2018, Companies Act 2013, and Securities Contract Regulation Act 1956. What is the objective of depository system in India? Which is to improve the efficiency and security in security transactions, to ensure speedy transfer and settlement, to reduce the paperwork and risk related to the forged or lost certificates, to promote investor protection and transparency. So as you are aware, a listed company has to carry already a lot of compliances in their day-to-day routine. So if the shares are dealt manually or in paper format, which will become a very huge task for the company to deal with. So that is why depository system is there to look after the securities and their data and record maintenance. So what all are the two main depositories in India? They are NSDL and CDSL. They are the two registered depositories which are currently operating in India. National Securities Depository Limited, NSDL, and Central Depository Services Limited, CDSL. They both are regulated by SEBI and supervised by the Depositories Act 1996. Our second topic is depository system, a overview. A deposit system acts like a bank for securities, just like cash in case of bank. Depository acts like a bank for the securities. So investors deposit securities in demat form and transfers occur through electronic book entries. Participants, who all are the participants in here? First one is depository, who holds and maintains the securities electronically. Depository participant, who acts as a agent to the depository, and it is a intermediary and link between the depository and the investors, you may say. Issuer, the company whose securities are admitted in the depository, whose shares are usually issued to the investors, are the issuers. Beneficial owners, now there are two differentiation of owners and investors, like beneficial owner and registered owner. So beneficial owner is the actual owner holding securities in demat account. Beneficial owner enjoys the following benefits: all the rights and liabilities attached to the securities like dividend, voting rights, bonus are with beneficial owners. Right to pledge, transfer, and hypothecate securities also lies with the beneficial owner. Protection in the SEBI and Depositories Act also lies with the beneficial owner. Depository only holds the securities as custodian, and no ownership rights are held with the depositories. Registered owners, who are the registered owners? Depository is the registered owner whose name is entered in the register of members of the company. So depository is recorded in issuers registers only for namesake. Beneficial rights remain with the investors. Why so? Because if the name and details of every investor is recorded in the register of member, it will become so bulky. That is why all the data is held with the depository, and in register of members of the issuer, the name of depository is mentioned as the member or shareholder. स्ट्रक्चर आपका बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर अब यहाँ पे कैसा फॉर्म हो रहा है? इशूअर, डिपॉजिटरी, डिपॉजिटरी पार्टिसिपेंट और इन्वेस्टर. और यू मे ऑल्सो मेक इट वाइस वर्सा, इन्वेस्टर, depository participants for direct connection and direct coordination, depository and issuer. They are regulated by SEBI, verified by auditors and internal checks. Now here is a differentiation between your depository and bank, which is very basic. Just to give you a relationship between how bank and depositories are somewhat related but are different. Okay, so you can just give it a read. Fungibility of securities. So this is a concept which we have to study. Once securities are held in demat form, they become fungible, that is interchangeable and not identified by a certificate or distinctive number which is given to the securities. Dematerialized securities lose their distinctive identity. All the shares of the same ISIN are identical and interchangeable. It enables the faster trading and settlement as securities are traded uniformly. For example, 100 shares of the same company in demat form are identical and 100 shares can be transferred without identification. Advantage क्या है इसका? It simplifies trading and settlement process and no tracking of specific certificates is required. Roles and functions of depository. So depository's role, that it acts like a link between issuer and the investor for holding, transfer and settlement of securities in electronic form. What all are the roles of depository? Dematerialization, conversion of physical shares into electronic form. Rematerialization, conversion of electronic shares into physical form, which is now been of no in practical use because we have been asked to dematerialize all of our shares, either a public company or a listed company or a private company. So dematerialization has been made mandated by the regulators. Now transfer and settlement, transfer of ownership through electronic book entries, corporate actions, distribution of dividends, rights, bonuses are done electronically. Pledge and hypothecation of shares, transmission and nomination of shares, account maintenance for the beneficial owners, freezing and defreezing of shares, inspection and audit to ensure compliance with SEBI and depository bylaws is done by the depository. Communication, it acts as a link between issuer and the beneficial owner, which we have already read. This was a role which is to be played by the depository. Now, what all are the benefits of depository? It eliminates physical risk of loss, fake certificates, and theft. It enables us to quickly transfer, like that is credit or debit the shares into our accounts. Lower cost is there, no stamp duty on transfers is needed. Speedy settlement, T+1 or T+2 settlement provisions has been introduced. Transparency, proper records and reporting is there. Paperless convenience, automatic credit of corporate benefits like dividends, bonuses, etc. Facilitates pledging and lending of securities, eliminates bad deliveries or signature mismatch issues. Now we have understood about the role of and the benefits of depository. Now moving ahead, the further intermediary is depository participant. So a depository participant is an intermediary through which investor access depository services. It is registered with SEBI under SEBI Depository and Participants Regulation 2018. Eligibility क्या है depository participant बनने के लिए? It could be a bank, financial institution, custodian, stockbroker, NBFC, etc. It must meet capital adequacy and infrastructure requirements to become a depository participant. Example which we have already covered, who can become a depository participant. So what all are the functions played by the depository participants? First one is to act as a agent to the depository, opening of demat accounts for investors, processing dematerialization and rematerialization requests, settle trades electronically, maintain up-to-date clients record, facilitate pledge, freeze and transmission of shares, handle investor grievances and provide account statements. What all are the liabilities of depository participants? So DP is responsible to both depository and investor for accuracy and confidentiality of transactions. Our sixth topic is issuer. We have already covered about depository participant. Now the third person in our structure is issuer itself. So the issuer is the company whose securities are admitted to the depository. Prerequisite क्या है? A company must have to enter a tripartite agreement which is to be done among issuer, depository and the RTA, registrar and share transfer agent. So what all are the obligations? Obligation is to facilitate demat credit of securities, inform RTA and depository about the corporate actions being undertaken in the company, ensure continuous demat facility for investors, and once shares are dematerialized, the issuer can deal only in demat mode for those securities. I hope this is clear to all of you. So the tripartite agreement which we are covering here is of a very practical use to you all as well in the during a articleship or training if you are doing it under a listed company. So issuer, suppose for example, we can take TCS as the issuer, the company. Depositories will be NSDL and CDSL, the second parties, and the third party will be the RTA. You can say KFIN, for example, to be the RTA of the company. So tripartite means there are three parties between whom the tripartite agreement should be entered to facilitate the facility of depository and depository participants in the company. Okay. So you may choose both the depositories like NSDL and CDSL in the agreement, or you may also choose any one of them for this agreement. Now, dematerialization, what is the meaning? It is a conversion of physical certificates into electronic form, which has been mandated. What is the process? Investor opens demat account with DP, submit dematerialization request form with certificates, DP forwards to depository. So dematerialization request form DRF is submitted to the depository participants. He further submits it to the issuer and RTA for confirmation. Issuer verifies and confirms the same to depository. Physical certificates are destroyed. Time frame is around 15 days of application. Legal effect क्या होता है इसका? Securities are credited electronically and investors became the beneficial owners of the company. Next one is rematerialization. It is a conversion of demat holdings back into the physical certificates. Process: investors file rematerialization request form with DP. DP submits the same to depository and depository further to the issuer and RTA. Issuer issues new physical certificates and effect क्या होता है इसका? Demat balance reduced. New folio is allotted to the investor. Our next topic is ISIN. ISIN is very important from the practical workings as well. If you are going to do your articleship in a listed company. So it is a unique 12-character code for identification of securities which has been issued globally. So structure क्या होता है इसका? 2 letters are the country code. Other 9 letters are the issuer's security details. 1 digit is check code and it is allotted by the NSDL and CDSL under the SEBI approval. Purpose क्या होता है इसका? To ensure unique identification of the securities It eliminates duplication and facilitates cross-border trading as well. Demat account opening process. So as you are aware, to deal in securities, you must have a demat account. So what is the step for opening the same? Choose a SEBI registered depository participant. Submit account opening form plus KYC documents. Sign agreement with depository participants and define the rights, duties, and charges. Obtain beneficial owner BOID from the depository. Receive account statement periodically. Type of account. कौन कौन से होंगे? Beneficiary account for investors, clearing member account for brokers and clearing members, and corporate account for institutions and issuers. So this will be the process of your account opening. Now there is a topic called legal linkage, which has been given in your module. So what all are the things covered in here is a relationship between depository, issuer, and investors is legally defined under the Depositories Act 1996. Registered owner and beneficial owner is differentiated in there. So depository is the registered owner in the company's books, as I have already told you, which is only for the purpose of effecting transfers. And the beneficial owner, investor, is the actual owner with all the rights and benefits like dividends and voting rights and bonus, etc. Depository agreement. Depository and issuer must enter into an agreement before securities are admitted into the demat form. This defines the rights and duties of both the parties. Transfer of ownership occurs only through book entries in the records of depository. Physical endorsement or execution of transfer deeds is not required in here. Legal validity क्या होती है इनकी? Entries in the records of the depository are conclusive evidence of ownership of the investor. Okay. Our 12th topic is electronic credit in new issue. So first one is application stage. Investors applying in an IPO or FPO provide their DP ID and client ID. Further, on the allotment stage, the issuer directly credits securities into investors' demat account through the depository. No physical share certificates are printed. एडवांटेज क्या होता है इनका? इमीडिएट एंड एक्यूरेट क्रेडिट ऑफ सिक्योरिटीज हो जाता है आपके डीमेट अकाउंट में. नो रिस्क ऑफ पोस्टल लॉस or fake certificate, automatic readiness for trading, and reduce cost and time for the company and investors. So if you are applying in an IPO or a FPO, so this is the process or how the securities are credited to your demat account if the securities are allotted to you, and if not, the amount will be refunded to you, and no more transactions will be happening in your demat account. Corporate actions, as you're aware, corporate actions are the various activities relating to the securities which happen into the company. For example, rights issue and IPOs and FPOs which are happening in the company. And for that matter, you have to inform the same to the various intermediaries and stock exchanges for the same. So what is the meaning of corporate action? It is initiated by the issuer affecting its securities or shareholders. Examples can be bonus issue, rights issue, dividends, stock split, consolidation, buyback, merger, amalgamation, etc. So these are the few of the examples of corporate actions. So in the depository system, issuer informs the depository about the corporate action. Without depository, no corporate action can be happening in your company. So depository identifies the beneficial owner based on the record date. So there is a record date concept in the practical world wherein before the corporate actions, who all will be the eligible investors for the benefit are identified. इसीलिए एक record date fix की जाती है. Securities or benefits are automatically credited to the demat accounts. Benefits क्या होते हैं इनके? Eliminates the manual processing, ensures accuracy and uniform treatment to all the shareholders. Faster implementation and investor convenience is there. Now, we have already read about the structure of issuer, then depository and depository participant, and how the role of each of these participants is crucial. So, what is the act regulating them? Okay, so is the Depositories Act 1996. So, what all are the salient features of this act are? that is to provide a legal framework for establishment and regulation of depositories and securities market. It is administered by SEBI for sure and central government. There are few important provisions in this framework which I have covered in the with the sections for a ready reference. So section number 3 deals with the registration of depositories. So SEBI grants certificate of registration after satisfying capital, infrastructure, and fit and proper criteria of these intermediaries. Section 4 is the agreement with participants. So depository can act only through registered DPs. Agreement defines the duties and obligations between depository and depository participants. Section 5 deals with the services of depository. So depository provides services to beneficial owners through DPs upon payment of certain fees. Surrender of certificates. Security holder may surrender certificates to the issuer and request the dematerialization. Section 7 and 8 relates to the registration of transfer. Transfer of securities effected by entries in records of depository. Issuer must update the beneficial owner list from time to time. Section 9 deals with the option to hold securities with depository. Investors have right to hold securities either physically or in demat form. Section 10 deals with the rights of beneficial owner. Beneficial owner is entitled to all the rights and benefits. Section 11 is pledge or hypothecation of securities. Securities in demat form can be pledged, hypothecated with depository's record serving as proof. Section 12 is inquiry and inspection. SEBI may inspect depositories and participants for compliance. And Section 19 deals with the penalties. So imprisonment up to 5 years or fine up to 10 crore or both for contravention has been provided for the non-compliance. So here, moving ahead with the powers of SEBI. So SEBI's role is it is a regulatory authority who supervises the depositories and SEBI and depository participants. Power क्या होती है इनकी regarding over the depository and depository participants are inspection and audit of depositories and the participants, suspension or cancellation of registration after inquiry, issue of directions and orders for investor protection, initiation of adjudication proceedings for penalties. Adjudication process क्या होगा? SEBI appoints an adjudicating officer. EO conducts the inquiry and provides opportunity of being heard. Penalty is imposed considering the loss, unfair advantage gained, repetitive nature of fraud, and penalty range is up to 10 crore or imprisonment up to 5 years depending upon the violation. So सबसे पहले तो SEBI की पावर क्या होंगी कि वो इंस्पेक्ट करेगा, उनको ऑडिट कर सकता है. अगर कुछ नॉन कंप्लायंस दिख के आता है तो सस्पेंशन एंड कैंसिलेशन ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन हो सकता है. फर्दर अगर कुछ इसके अलावा हम इम्प्रूवमेंट कर सकते हैं तो दे विल इशू द डायरेक्शंस टू करेक्ट द नॉन कंप्लायंस विच कैन बी डन एंड विच कैन बी करेक्टेड. उसके बाद भी अगर नॉन कंप्लायंस ऐसा है विच कैन नॉट बी करेक्टेड देन दे विल गो फॉर द एजुडिकेशन. और फॉर दैट मैटर एक एओ अपॉइंट होगा, adjudicating officer, who will conduct the inquiry, and after that finding out all the non-compliances he will impose the penalty. Penalty का criteria कैसे होगा, क्या डिसाइड मतलब कौन से बेसिस पे डिसाइड होगा कि इन्वेस्टर्स को लॉस कितना हुआ है, डीपीज को एंड डिपॉजिटरीज को गेन कितना हुआ है, अनड्यू गेन, अनफेयर गेन, एंड रिपीटेटिव नेचर कितने बार रिपीट हुए हैं नॉन कंप्लायंस. तो दिस विल बी द क्राइटेरिया एंड फाइन विल बी this given in here. Offenses and cognizance. Offense under Depository Act: contravention of any provision, rules, regulations, or bylaws by depository and participants or the issuer. Punishment is imprisonment up to 5 years or fine up to 10 years, 10 crore, or both. Offenses by companies. Every person in charge is deemed guilty unless they prove that they have carried the due diligence for the same. Cognizance: taken only upon a complaint by the SEBI or central government. Trial by special court designated for SEBI matters. Powers of central government to make rules. Give it a read. That is not so important from the examination point of view, but you must give it a read. Powers of depository to make bylaws. You can also give it a read. Now here SEBI Depository and Depository Participant Regulations 2018. So this is the second important regulation which we have to cover, just like Depositories Act 1996. So what are the purpose of Depositories and Participants Regulation 2018 are to regulate the registration, operation, rights and responsibilities of depositories and participants. की फीचर्स क्या है इनके? रजिस्ट्रेशन इनका सेबी के साथ होना मैंडेटरी है. फिट एंड प्रॉपर क्राइटेरिया, कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज द बेसिस फॉर गिविंग देम द रजिस्ट्रेशन. राइट्स एंड ऑब्लिगेशंस क्या क्या रहेंगे? डिपॉजिटरीज मस्ट इंश्योर इंटीग्रिटी, कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी एंड कंटिन्यूटी ऑफ ऑपरेशंस, मेंटेन रिकॉर्ड्स फॉर एटलीस्ट 5 years, furnish information and reports to SEBI when required. Inspection and oversight, SEBI can conduct periodic inspections, may direct corrective actions. Suspension and cancellation, if there are repeated defaults and non-compliances after giving opportunity of being heard. Investor protection, mechanism for grievance redressal and compensation fund maintenance will be directed by the SEBI. Now, these are some of the important topics in here, which is the reconciliation audit. This is very important from the exam point of view. This has been asked by the institute many times. So it is a half-yearly audit to match total issued and demat capital of the company. It is conducted by a practicing company secretary. It reports to the report is submitted to the SEBI and stock exchanges within 30 days of the half-year end. It ensures no mismatch is there between the issued, listed, and demat capital. The objective of reconciliation audit is to maintain accuracy, detect duplication or unlisted securities, and enhance investors' confidence. Second one is internal and concurrent audit of DPs. So, internal audit is conducted half-yearly by a qualified CA or CS. Checks the compliance with SEBI regulations, account opening process, KYC, demat and remat, investor grievances and record maintenance. It is conducted continuously for high volume or large DPs. Focus is on the transaction accuracy, reconciliation, risk management. Purpose is to prevent irregularities and strengthen the control mechanism with DPs. So in companies, reconciliation audit is carried. This is very important. This is done half yearly by the PCS, submitted to the stock exchanges within 30 days of half year end. It ensures no mismatches there between the issued, जो कंपनी ने इशू किया है, जो स्टॉक एक्सचेंज पे लिस्टेड है, एंड जो डिपॉजिटरी के पास वहां पे डीमेट कैपिटल दिख के आ रहा है. ओके, तो उसमें कोई भी हमारा मिसमैच नहीं है. दैट इज डिटेक्टेड इन हियर. एंड इंटरनल ऑडिट एंड इंटरनल एंड कंकरेंट ऑडिट इज फॉर द डीपीएस. तो डीपीएस का होता है. What is the role of company secretary? So as a compliance officer of the issuer, जो कंपनी का जो भी compliance officer रहेगा वहां पे उसका क्या रोल है? To ensure company's connectivity with both depositories, that is NSDL and CDSL, oversee the reconciliation audit and file the reports on time. जो भी उनको reconciliation audit का report आएगा उसको time पे file करना है. Monitor the corporate actions, bonus, rights split, and coordinate with the depositories further. Without depository, no corporate actions can be taken. Certify correctness of capital structure and demat position. Ensure investors' grievance and redressal as per SEBI LODR. Investor grievance को redress करना तो that is a very important task which you have to do being a listed company. एज कंप्लायंस ऑफिसर और डिपॉजिटरी एंड डिपॉजिटरी पार्टिसिपेंट्स आपका क्या रोल है? मतलब अगर आप डिपॉजिटरीज एंड डिपॉजिटरी पार्टिसिपेंट्स की कंपनी सेक्रेटरी हैं, कंप्लायंस ऑफिसर हैं, तो वहां पे आपका क्या रोल रहेगा? टू ओवरसी द अडेरेंस टू सेबी डिपॉजिटरीज एंड पार्टिसिपेंट रेगुलेशंस 2018, सुपरवाइज इंटरनल एंड कंकरेंट ऑडिट्स, liaise with SEBI and depositories during the inspections, maintain compliance calendar, and ensure timely filings. So एक ओवरऑल रोल आप क्या बोल सकते हो? To act as a link between issuer, depository, depository participant, and SEBI, and ensuring transparency, accountability, and investor protection is the role of a compliance officer. So here are the few case laws. इनका जिस्ट मैंने आपको दिया हुआ है. You can give it a detailed read from the module, and gist is provided in here. So thank you and all the best. Stay hydrated, stay confident for examinations, and If you are liking the content and the revision lectures, you can just give your feedback and suggestions on the number or on this channel by subscribing and sharing the content. Thank you.